Hello, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We are back and it's Friday and we made it. We survived. We survived the week. We have survived COVID and we are still energized. It is a Friday and guess what? We have closed out this work week. And who am I? I am Colette Coakley. I'm coming to you live here for the Women's Leadership Forum. And boy, I'm excited about our guests here today. Oh my gosh, we've got a lot to learn today from our guests, and you don't want to miss it. The Women's Leadership Forum, let me talk to you about that just a little bit. So, we've got this big event coming up. It's coming up March 18th through the 20th. That's coming up soon. We have less than a month and tickets are going fast. We have a 3-day virtual event. Oh, where do I begin? I'm going to start by telling you, if you haven't heard, April Ryan, White House News Bureau Chief for the GRIO, is coming to us to talk to us about womanhood, to talk to us and encourage us to move forward in our charge, not to just sit back and get stuck in COVID, but we're going to move forward. And then we have immigration attorney doing our moderation, sitting back and talking to us about things that have happened to her, and to encourage us and tell us that we can do it. We can do it. We can go out there and find a job. We can go out there and provide for our families. We can go out there and accomplish things that we want to accomplish. She has experienced a lot and she has a lot to give to us. We have choices. We have choices in our 3-day event. We bring to you 13 workshops from which you can choose. And our next guest is going to tell us about the workshop that she is leading within our Women's Leadership Forum. We are on a platform that you are able to not only go to one class, but you can go from one class to another. We wanted to make sure that you choose the class that fits you most. So we invite you to come not only on Thursday the 18th, but also join us the next day. We're going to bring to you a writing class that if you had in mind how to write an article, how to start a blog, how to get out the words that have been in your head for so long, but you wanted them out on paper. We're going to spend the time and the energy to get you to get those words on paper. And then for the students, oh boy, we have scholarships, apprenticeships, and internships. Oh my. And we're bringing that all to the stage for you to ask and get your questions answered. That evening, if you bought the VIP ticket, you are going to be able to sit back and relax and hear Sheila Murphy talk about her book, how her journey has affected her and how she got to where she is today. Wow. And then, okay, for you good ladies who like to shop and who like to browse and who like to eat, we have an array of things that you can be a part of, all in our happy hour. Now, we don't want you to party too hard because we want you to join us on day 3. On day 3, we have a roundtable discussion on small business. That is moderated by M&T Bank. So we have a roundtable discussion of not only business owners, but people from the Department of Labor and other entities that will talk about PPE, PPP, all the P's that you can think of that will help you to move your business forward. So we invite you not only to come to the table, but also join us. because we want you to be part of the discussion. It is the discussion that you bring that helps us to be rich in our conversations. So we don't want to just talk to ourselves. We want you to come and participate in all that we have. Now, how do you go find out about us? You go to our website, which is forward, WLF.org, forward, FORWARD, WLF.org. And if you can't find us through that website, you can find us through our hashtag, because we are on Facebook, we are on Instagram, and we are on LinkedIn. So we're inviting you in. And if you want to see us in our newsletter, if you're trying to find out, hey, let me get a day-by-day account of what it is that you all are all about, then you just join us on our website by subscribing, and you'll immediately get a welcome letter, and we will Not sure what happened, folks, but I had some technical, as they say, technical difficulties. Okay, I got bumped from the broadcast. Maybe that was too much for the broadcast to handle, but I'm back. I'm back because you cannot miss our guest. So I don't want to miss the guest. I want you to know who our guest is. So I welcome to the Leadership Forum, the Women's Leadership Forum live. Okay, let me get rid of this banner here. Miss Lynda Katz Wilner. I'm welcoming her to the Women's Leadership Forum live table. Welcome, Lynda.
Thank you so much, Colette. I'm really looking forward to talking to you this evening.
Well, some people want to know, who is this guest? Well, let me just tell you, if you are experiencing too many too many ahs, too many stops and starts in your conversation, if you're trying to figure out, wait a minute, I got bumped from the air, how do I get back on? Okay, like I just did. Okay, you may want to solicit Miss Lynda Katz Wilner to help you. She is the owner of Successfully Speaking. I say that with pride, and I say it slowly because I want to get it right. And I welcome her to the stage. Now, she says on her LinkedIn bio, her mission is to help individuals from diverse backgrounds speak, sound, and look like leaders. So can you see, audience, why we would pair her up with our wonderful group? She is helping us to appear, sound, and be more like leaders. And we welcome her. So, Lynda, I'm going to ask you a question about yourself.
Sure.
Because what I don't like to do is just read, your bio. I would rather that you tell us about your journey that got you to where you are today.
Okay, great. I'd love to do that. We all love to talk about ourselves.
Oh, yeah.
Basically, I started my career as a speech and language pathologist. So I worked with children and adults who had speech and language disorders, I worked in a hospital actually, such as people who had head injuries, stroke, head and neck cancer, spinal cord injuries, people who had difficulty speaking or swallowing because of medical conditions. And I started there, and then I started working with some professional singers who had difficulty. Now, I don't sing, but not with their singing voice, but their speaking voice.
Oh.
Because as a speech pathologist, you're trained to work with vocal issues as well. I started working with people with, as I said, singers, and there was one person who came to me, and she said, I really don't like the way I sound. What is it? I don't think there's any vocal problem. I realized she had a very strong Philadelphia accent, which was in Philadelphia at the time. And I realized that just by having an accent, people may not like the way they sound. Now,
Yeah.
I'm not from the Maryland area, so I'm not sure if people can tell
Neither am I.
what's that?
Neither am I. Neither am I.
So I'm not sure if people can tell where I'm from, but people used to make fun of the way I spoke. And I started to see that people get stigmatized because of the way they sound. And then they stop listening to what I'm trying to tell them. So instead, and this may give it away now, they'd say, oh, come on, say coffee, say chocolate, say Long Island. And when I heard all those things, I said, how could they say that? And you know what, Colette? They also said, most girls from Long Island wear Shalimar perfume. And I thought, what type of comment is that? And do you know what, Colette? I wore Shalimar perfume, and that was the last time I ever wore it. So I started to see that people stereotype you,
Yeah.
the way you sound. And so I started working with people with regional dialects. And because I didn't live in New York anymore, I focused on speaking in a way that it would not bring too much attention or distraction to myself. And then I started working with people who had foreign accents. And
Mm.
I thought, if I felt stigmatized because of the way I sounded, what
Right.
about these brilliant doctors, scientists, engineers, IT professionals, international clergy? I mean, you name it. We have such a diverse culture now in the United States.
Right.
How do they feel after mastering the English language that people are still having trouble understanding them?
Wow.
And so I started working on accent modification and helping people not eliminate their accent, but just
Mhm.
to modify it in a way that they can speak and be heard without having to repeat themselves. And then, Colette, that evolved even more. When I started working with companies, they said, well, you help international professionals. What about American born professionals? Can you help them with their public speaking? Well, because I'm a speech pathologist and I know about the speaking voice, we started working on public speaking. So at this point, I work with people from all different cultures. They could be American born, they could be international. Many of my clients are still living in their countries because I do it remotely. And I help polish their communication skills. And so, as you said, I help them speak, sound, and look like a leader. And I'll add one more thing to that because you were
Okay.
talking about that. I also help them listen like a leader
Ah.
because that's communication too. And we speak a lot, but if we never listen, we're really not communicating.
Okay. So why, for the audience, why is communication so important on the job? Why
You
is it so important on the job?
you name any job, just you can even throw any job at me. A doctor needs to communicate with his or her patients.
Mm.
Nurse needs to communicate. An IT professional may have gone into the field working with computers so that they don't have to talk much.
Right.
As they move up in their career, maybe they have to interface with clients, maybe a customer, a support center. We all know those support centers that we call, and the person may be foreign born. Can we understand?
Yeah.
So as people move up in their careers, a scientist may choose to do something, just research. But if he gets better and better in his career, he has to then present the research and speak at conferences or speak up at meetings. Um,
Right.
if you're in customer service and you're greeting people when they walk into the office, the doctor's office or the building,
Hmm.
to talk to people. So
Right. Right. Right.
we always are communicating. So everybody could benefit from communicating in a way that they're putting their best foot forward, or their best
So,
voice forward, let's say.
right. Right. So one of the things that, when we spoke before and I found interesting is um, you talked about body language,
Mhm.
right? Now, I'm one that always talks with my hands. I know that I talk with my hands, and sometimes that gets to be distracting. Give us a tip.
Oh, I can give you the best tip.
Okay.
When I work with my master classes on public
Okay.
speaking, and I give them this tip, they love it.
Okay.
Many people say, "Oh, I just talk with my hands so much. It's my
Yeah.
culture.
Yeah.
That's how I
Yeah.
communicate." And their hands are all over the place when they're talking. Here's a strategy. I don't think it's so bad that you're using your hands. You're animated. But what if you kept your fingers together and you start talking emphatically with your hands? It doesn't look nearly as distracting when my fingers stay together.
Yeah.
It's more the dancing fingers that get so distracting.
Right.
If we keep our hands together, we
Yeah.
can still be animated.
Okay.
We want to be animated. We don't want to talk like this all the time and be so stiff. Right? We want to connect with people, and gestures are a big part of that.
And I know this is not just a session for me, okay, but there's one other thing that I want to ask you about.
Mm-hmm.
Women who fold their arms just across and they sit at a table, or they're even sitting at, they're seating, but it's a resting spot, okay? Mm-hmm. And forgive me, ladies, but even, the person who has big boobs, right? They tend to rest their arms like right underneath. It's just a resting spot. What do you have to say about that?
You mentioned women, but men do this too. And
how do they? Okay, I guess I'm not paying attention.
Headshots do you see when the person stands like this?
Yeah, they ask you to do that.
It's a very powerful position, but it's very closed off. Yeah. I never understand why people do that. But very often you said it's a resting position. It's also sometimes when we're holding our body in some way, it could be because we're nervous.
Yeah.
And so we're playing with our hair, wringing our hands, crossing our arms over. And do you know what, Colette? It could be that I'm just cold. I worked with a law firm, and it was a women's group of lawyers, and they said, our boardroom is freezing cold. So we're all sitting like this, and we know it's not good body language. What should we do? What do you think I told them? Wear a sweater.
Yeah.
Or acknowledge that the reason I'm sitting like this is I'm so cold, because you don't want to come across as soft.
Yeah.
And when it comes to body language, we can't just take one posture and make a judgment about a person. It's a cluster of gestures that you might be doing. So if I'm standing like this and I'm away from the person and my head's up, then I might look very aloof and distant.
Okay.
But because my hands are closed, that doesn't necessarily mean it. But be aware that you are shutting yourself off. You want to be open to people. I know you may get to this, but I'm going to mention it now. You want to show your heart to people.
Yes.
You can't show people this way. Right? So be open and face a person head on, not like this, but your heart should be facing either the person you're speaking to or the audience that you're talking to, if you're speaking to many people at one time.
So I'm going to go to my banner here, because Lynda just brought up the positive word, or the word of the month, which is the heart. We're talking about the body part, the heart. February is the month of love, and we are talking about the heart. And she just gave you a big tip. So I want you to just say that again, Lynda, please.
And there are two ways to do it. I'm going to get to the second way in a minute. You just reminded me. But the first thing is, our heart should always face the person we're speaking to.
Okay.
We should be open-hearted. There's a reason for that expression. Open-hearted and facing them. So let's say you're at a networking meeting and you're talking to me and you're standing like this off to the side. I don't feel very connected to you. You're not giving me your full attention. Your feet should be facing me. Right. So that you're connected with me. But look around when we get back to face-to-face networking. Look around the room and look at body language. You can tell who's engaged because they're facing each other and they're heart to heart. And there are other people who are looking around, faced in a different direction, looking for a better opportunity or a better person to speak to, walking in the door.
Yeah.
You're not connected with those people. So
Wow.
your heart is so important on feeling a connection. And your heart is also there for compassion. And when you listen to people, you need to be able to read them and observe them and open your heart so that you can listen to them. So it
Wow.
works both ways. Send it out and let it come in.
Wow, wow, wow. What a good tip. What a good tip. Um, so I want to ask you, in this COVID world
Mm.
where we have half of our face showing,
Mm.
and did anybody hear me say anything? Half of our face is showing, right? Half of our face is showing. How can we better convey
Mm.
or express ourselves now that we are masked up?
Okay, so you're talking first about just the body, the facial expression, not the
Yeah.
voice. I can
Yeah.
talk both.
Yes.
Many people say, well, now that I'm wearing a mask, I can't smile. You'll never know I'm smiling.
Right.
If you truly have a smile, a genuine smile, and Tara Banks has spoken about this, smizing, you actually smile all the way up to your eyes. And
Oh, wow.
so if you're wearing a mask and you smile, a genuine smile, people see it in your eyes. So
Mm.
don't think that they don't know and you don't have to walk around with a smile. That
Yeah.
smile goes all the way up. And even though we may not like crow's feet, that's the part of our eyes when they wrinkle, it shows we're giving a genuine smile.
Okay.
Because if I just smile like this and I'm pretending I'm smiling, it doesn't feel real. It's not real.
Right.
And so behind that mask, please smile. Let people see those crinkly eyes because it shows that you are engaging. The
Wow.
other thing is use gestures, use
Yeah.
good eye contact. I think because people are wearing a mask, they think they're not supposed to look at anybody. The eye contact can make up in a lot of ways for the fact that you're not showing your mouth and your face and your teeth.
Ooh, ooh, ooh. Now, because I often wonder, I have right over here, the mask.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if you could see it with the glare, but now you see my crow's feet. So now I know, and I feel as though I can tell that people are smiling, particularly in the grocery store, right? You can tell the ones that are happy in going through the grocery store and those that are not quite as happy
And
being there.
let me tell you something funny that just happened today. I actually
Yeah.
went to the grocery store, and of course, I had my mask on. And you can't speak; you have to work real hard to speak loudly. And this person, I was walking out, and this couple stood back to let me pass. And I said, thank you, in the way that I would have said thank you without a mask.
Mm.
And the person said, you're welcome. And I realized, listening to tone of voice, which I can do real well, he thought I didn't say thank you.
Oh,
He was being very snarky to me.
yeah.
And I thought, what was it? He couldn't see my mouth. If he
Yeah.
saw my mouth, I said thank you, but I didn't say it very loudly. But I did smile. But he may not have heard me. And that's another way communication's breaking down. And I think so many people are so fearful and stressed when they might be in a supermarket that they're
Wow.
not taking the time. And I felt awful because it didn't connect till after I left. I thought, boy, that person thought I didn't say thank you. Just the way he responded. He didn't need to give me a snarky response, but he did. But I
Yeah.
think that's why that happened. And so we need to make sure, and we all make these mistakes, but we need to make sure when we have that mask on, we need to exaggerate a little bit how we're speaking so we can project better over the mask.
Over the mask. Yeah.
It's hard.
It's difficult to, everybody is trying to adjust,
Mm-hmm.
right? Everybody is trying to adjust, but we're a year in now. We're coming upon a year. And so we are going to have to live with this for a while. These tips that you're giving us, they're super helpful for us to be able to communicate, because communication, if we don't have anything else, what direction are we going to be headed in, right? So I want to give you an opportunity to tell us about, we see this hand in the back of you, right? And so I want to give this angle shot here.
She's more than a hand. She's a whole
More
person.
than a hand, it's a lady, right? Tell us about Miss Persnickety.
Yes, Miss Persnickety. Very interestingly enough, early in my career when I was supervising graduate students, and I happen to have an ear and an eye for typos, misspells, and misspeaks. And it fits with being a speech pathologist, of course. But I would correct her spelling whenever she'd be writing things. And she said, you're really very persnickety. And I thought, nobody's ever called me that. That was many decades ago.
Okay.
And I started realizing that I do have an ear. I hear when people mispronounce things, and we all do. Believe me, I make these mistakes too. Some people will call me and say, I need help with my pronunciation. There's no such word as pronunciation. It's pronunciation. Many people, and a lot of these are regional dialects and slang, many people say anyways, or they'll say irregardless. Those are not words. In Maryland, I know a lot of people say they use the word across. There is no T. It's only across. And so when I heard all these things, and they're fun to me. They're fun. There are different ways we can laugh at ourselves. But I put them together. I put 60 of them together in this book, Miss Persnickety's Guide to Everyday Mistakes. And it's helpful also because I do work with an international audience, and sometimes they're not sure. How do you say, is it plumber or is it a plumber? Is it doubt and depth? Because they're reading words. And so I put some words together here, and like I said, a total of 60, just that you can go through and learn about some grammar misspeaks we do. Many of us I might say, me and Colette are talking today. No, it's Colette and I are talking. Mm-hmm. And many of us have these misspeaks, but we don't know about it. And so I put them together in a fun, a lighthearted way, not to be punitive, but a lighthearted way to know the standard way that you can say these. And let me clarify. We can speak however we want with our friends and when we're casual. Okay. But when we're speaking to our boss, when we're applying for a job in an interview, when we're trying to present ourselves in the best way possible, that's when we may choose to speak with clarity and make sure we're grammatically correct. But there's nothing wrong if we go home and we let our New York accent come out, or our casual speech, or we're saying walking and talking instead of walking and talking. So I'm not saying we always have to speak that way, but we want to know where the bar is. So if we're trying to impress people in an interview or job or something like that, we know what we can do.
Yeah, and that also speaks to knowing your audience, right?
Absolutely. Sometimes, especially in sales, you may choose to change your speech and speak in a less than perfect way because that's your audience and you want them to relate to you. If you're proper, they're not going to relate or like you. So you might change and choose to speak with less perfect grammar just so they connect with you. And people in sales know how to do this so well. They switch back.
So where would they purchase this book?
I have this on my website, which is successfully-speaking.com. You can also purchase it on Amazon if you search for it by title or by my name. But mostly the easiest way is to get it right from my website.
Successfully-speaking. I'm just making sure that I have it right because I want to put it in the chat here. Successfully-speaking.
Hyphen like dash.
Yes.
Just to make sure. Right.
Yeah. Speaking.com.
Correct. And that's my website. And I have the book there. I have master classes. I have training videos. All of that is on that website.
Okay. So, Lynda, what is the number one thing that you would say you see common among women that you would say, we could do better? We could do better.
One or two.
Okay, you have two. I'll give you room for two.
I'll give you the first one, the most common one.
Okay. Yeah.
And that's when I'm talking like this, and my voice is going up like a question, even though I'm making a statement. And I might introduce myself and say, "Hi, I'm Lynda Katz Wilner. My company is Successfully Speaking." Do I sound confident, Colette?
Oh, you're asking a question.
It's
Here.
not questions, but they're
Yeah.
statements. So if I said I'm going to meet you at 4, that doesn't sound like I'm sure. So we need to bring our voice down at the ends of statements.
Can you, in that, I'm going to interrupt you for a second and rewind. Will you show the difference? Because some
Yes.
people don't recognize the difference.
Okay. I could say, "Hi, I'm Lynda Katz Wilner." Or I could say, "Hi, I'm Lynda Katz Wilner." Can you hear how my voice came down at the end?
Mm-hmm.
Let me give you another one. "I'll meet you at 4:00. Sounds like there's a question mark.
Yeah, right.
"I'll meet you at 4:00. Now, sometimes we choose to make it sound less tentative because we're asking, I'm saying, "Colette, I'll meet you at 4:00. And I'm leaving it open for you to say, "No, Lynda, I can't do that." But if I really need to meet you at 4:00, I should say, "Colette, let's meet at 4:00. I'm not giving you the room to tell me no." And so we sound more confident when our voice drops in pitch. When there's a period, the period is there for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
If anybody, I work with a lot of people from India, and in India, they call the period a full stop. They don't call it a period. I wish we called it a full stop because it would tell us to stop and bring our voice down. So that was number 1.
That was number 1. Go ahead. I'm ready. I'm ready for number 2.
Okay, well, if a lot of women speak at the bottom of their range like I'm doing now, and I don't even know if you can hear me as well because it doesn't project.
Like, what are you saying? What are you saying?
It doesn't project. So I'm speaking at the bottom of my range. They call that vocal fry. It was made popular by Kim Kardashian. A lot of people talk like this, and they have this crackly voice. I can't project it. It lacks energy, and I sound real confident. And so a lot of people do that. They do both the up talk and the glottal fry. And those are sabotaging patterns that are going to make us sound less powerful as women. So if we show up in a meeting and we're talking like this, or we're saying, "I have a really good idea," that doesn't sound as confident.
Yeah, I think that we're a victim of both. And one of the things that we're touting here today is that we want to make sure that you visit Lynda's workshop at the Women's Leadership Forum, because she's going to give you a lot of these tips. She's going to give you a lot of good things that you could take back and readily use. Now, you've gotten at least 4 or 5 of them here tonight. Can you imagine if you're coming to an hour and 15 minutes and you're having conversation with Lynda, and she's able to help you to right size your conversation so that you're able to deliver a good presentation. Even you can get you can get it done. You can get it done with a couple of her tips.
And you know, Colette, 74% of the people in the United States have some form of public speaking anxiety. So we can also talk about that. What are some strategies? I have some great tips and strategies to help you with your nervousness so that you can get up there and still perform. Because here's the one thing I want to tell everybody.
Yeah.
All will get nervous sometimes. And I was told early in my career, the day that I don't get nervous before a big presentation is the day I should start to worry, because we need that adrenaline to perform.
Yeah, I was on Clubhouse, believe it or not, and had a conversation with women who were nervous and delivering their PowerPoint presentation. And they were having anxiety beforehand, and they asked, is that is that real? What can I do to get over that? I said, some people never get over that. If you take actors and actresses, they actually get hyped before they get on, but they deliver well. They deliver well.
Mhm. Because
Yeah.
think about athletes. Are they mellow before the game begins? Or are they all keyed up and ready to go? They're not saying, I'm so nervous, I may not catch the ball, or I may not get the goal. They're saying, I'm ready. I'm ready
Yeah.
to go. And that's what it should be like. The feelings that we have that we think are just nervousness are the same feelings we have when we're excited. So we have to think of it differently.
So, Lynda, I have like a ton of questions, but I promised myself that I was going to like stop at, the half hour mark, and I'm still beyond the half hour mark. I wanted to play the video, but what I would like to do is invite you back to be a part of us, so that we can go through some other things that you would like to give us. Or you can even do one better. If you'd like to learn more about what Lynda is doing or be a part of her tribe, we're here as a Women's Leadership Forum. We're sharing, we're actually helping businesses to thrive during this COVID period. I didn't ask Lynda how she's doing, but she at least sounds great. That's what she's supposed to, and she's leading us all through the period. But I want to say, if you want to get more information from Lynda, you can visit her website at www.successfully-speaking.com, and you can not only get her book, but you can get information. I don't know, do you have a registration, Lynda?
I do. I have a newsletter, so if people go there, they can actually sign up. And Colette, I send out lots of newsletters and tips and some of my videos because
Yeah.
you saw that video this morning. So I do have that. I have master classes people can sign up for, where I have only 5 people in a class and we get together for 2 hours and work on the nervousness and balancing our visual, our vocal, and our verbal communication. People come in there nervous and they come out and say, wow, that was fun, believe it or not, even if you're nervous about public speaking. So I have all of those resources on my website, as well as materials for people who have accents and are looking to modify their accent.
Okay. And, I do want to talk to the ladies who are following me on Clubhouse, that here's a lady who you want to be connected with. I keep telling you, I'm bringing people to not only put in your contact list, but to get to know, because if you are nervous about your presentation, this is an opportunity to connect, to find out why you're nervous, okay? And find out how you can get over your nerves or use that nervous energy to propel you, and I'm going to say the word forward, to propel you forward. So I want you to write down the name, Lynda Katz Wilner. I also want you to visit her website, which again is successfully hyphen dash, either one you want to use, speaking.com. It's not 2 dashes, 1 dash, speaking. Okay, speaking.com. Successfully-speaking.com. Now, Lynda was gracious enough to give me a book of hers. That's right. Tell us the name of the book.
Miss Persnickety's Guide to Everyday Misspeaks.
Everyday Misspeaks. And we're going to give it away tonight. We're giving it away tonight, along with our moderator's book, which is Being Sheila. Now, I try to get this right. I got to practice that. Being Sheila, and it's Sheila's Journey. And I'm throwing in, and I don't have many, so it's a limited edition, okay, of the Women's Forum t-shirt. Our future is forward, okay? And here's how I'm giving it away. Now, Vanessa is viewing us here today, and she said, all right, okay? So listen up. This is how I'm giving it away. Go to the website. Go to our website. I'm giving you the website. Giving it to you now. Forward, WLF.org. And type in the chat after this session the class or the workshop that Lynda is heading. Type in the workshop that the class that Lynda is heading, and you will get Lynda's book, you will get Sheila's book, and you will get a t-shirt just for typing the class that Lynda is heading. All you do is go to the website WLF.org, and type in the class that Lynda's heading, and we'll send you all of it. You don't have to come out your house. You don't have to be socially distant. It will be delivered to your mailbox. Head over to the website. Okay. Now, that was at the risk of losing viewers. Okay. But I'm going to tell you more. I am going to tell you more because there may be viewers on the replay. Let me tell you what's coming up next. Don't go away, Lynda. Okay?
I'm here.
All right. So coming up next, we are still celebrating the heart all the way through the end of the month. February still remains. We still have days left. So we are still celebrating the heart and talking about the heart. On Monday, guess who's coming up? We have our nutritionist back. And I don't have a banner for that, so you're going to have to forgive me. But we have our nutritionist coming up who is going to talk more about the heart. We are going to talk about food and the heart. You know that she gives the 5 ingredients for a recipe dish. So you don't want to miss out. Last month, we learned how to make tomato basil soup. I have yet to make it because I haven't gone out and gotten the ingredients, so forgive me. But I am because it looked delicious. And we are still in the month of February, so it's Black History Month. We're still celebrating because we have not completed the 28 days. We celebrate through our Instagram and through our Facebook page. So through social media, we are highlighting Black businesses during our Black History Month. Now, I am reminding you that every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, you can find us here on Facebook Live and YouTube. On Monday, we talk about moving and motivation and nutrition, all on Monday. On Wednesday, it's workforce development. And on Friday, you find my friends like Lynda Katz Wilner. We find her here. And you find other friends who we talk about community and things that matter to you most. Now, we will also march our way into the month of March, and we're back at the Women's Leadership Forum, which takes place March 18, 19, and 20. And you will find Lynda talking about our speech, talking about the way that we present ourselves as leaders. And what else, Lynda?
Well, I shouldn't say the title, right?
Don't say the title. Don't give it away.
I was just ready to say that. Just how you present as leaders, how you balance the 3 V's of communication, which is the visual, how you look, with the vocal, how you sound, and the verbal, what you say.
Yes, yes, yes. So you don't want to miss out. I'm telling you, you do not want to miss this Women's Leadership Forum. We were only one day. Last year, we had 500 women, all at Notre Dame. We are virtual, so we're not, packed into a space. You're in your own space. There shouldn't be an excuse. We want to have you. We want to have you. And look, Lynda taught us this. We want to welcome you with our hearts facing you. So we're asking that you come. We'll welcome you, we'll encourage you, and we'll prepare you for going back into your communities, homes, and in your workplace so that you can be successful. You can be successful. Now, today, we talked about being successful in our speech, being successful in our leadership, and how we present ourselves. We want you to continue to follow us on the Women's Leadership Live platform. We want you to continue to be safe. We want you to mask up, be socially distant, and continue to wash your hands because we want to see you again. And I thank Lynda for being present here today and showing us how to be present always. And I want to thank the audience for hanging in there with us and for being interactive. We didn't have questions from the chat, but we had people who said, hey, and we want to say, hey, back at ya. Now, that was a Buffalo thing. Sorry. That was a Buffalo thing. But hey, hey, girl, hey, we're glad to have you. And we want you to continue to stay with us. Lynda, thank you. You were a marvelous guest. And when we sign off, we give a big wave and ask the audience to come back to us on Monday and be a part and participate in all that we have to offer. So we sign off with a big see you next time.
Thank you, Paulette.
Thank you so much. See you soon.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye.